Hi guys, Mike here again, just continuing looking at healing scriptures and just challenging you to have a look for yourself and get some commentaries and get some good books to read. Isaiah 53 verse 4 and 5. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. Of course, it's talking about Jesus. Israel will understand one day that it's talking about the Messiah. There's just an emphasis there on certainty. It says at the beginning, surely. When it talks about pain, it's talking about infirmities and illnesses, wounds, affliction, and trouble. The suffering, that's the physical pain that he suffered in his body. He bore our suffering. He bore that physical pain in his body, of our body, and anguish, the grief, the mental suffering, the emotion, the anguish, all those type of things. It says that we considered him punished by God, which means really the word there is we considered him to be plagued, which is interesting in this virus world that we live in. Verse 4, though not realizing at the time, Israel will one day realize that the servant, Jesus, the Messiah, bore the consequences of their sin. In taking our infirmities and sorrows, that's talking about the consequences of sin. So we see that even in Jesus' time, he healed many physical illnesses, but there's a greater anticipation here, greater anticipation of the cross. And though he can still heal physically today, the greater thing is salvation, healing souls, giving salvation from sin. And that's really what the subject of Isaiah 53 is. And it's clear from those words like transgressions, iniquities, wicked, transgressors, sin. One commentator, John Martin, said this. He said, the servant vicariously took on himself all the sins and spiritual anguish caused by sin of the nation and the whole world, and carried, which means to carry as a burden, them on himself. When Jesus was crucified, Israel thought his hardship, being stricken, smitten, afflicted, were deserved for his supposedly having blasphemed God. Actually, he was bearing the judgment of their sin that would be required. And one day they'll have an amazing revelation of that. So be blessed today. The greatest healing scripture, I think, in the Bible. So be blessed. Catch you later. Bye.